Hi, I'm Mark, and in this video I'm going to give you a few simple tips and tricks for how to use the jigs in Plato's balls. First of all, I just would like to encourage you to think about this a little bit and come up with a plan, because it makes everything more efficient and professional if you're going to do, let's say, a sleeve or even a dozen golf balls that maybe you're going to use as a gift, or maybe you're going to play with yourself. I'm going to show you just a couple of simple things that are going to help you down the road. First of all, I'd like to emphasize the fact that these jigs are used to make equal spaced markings on the ball, and then you can freehand around those. So it's not necessarily an exercise in tracing. What you're trying to do is get a nice even balanced, so that when you go in and fill it in with, let's say, dots or squares or initials, whatever, you can get them spaced equally on the ball. We're going to start out by a very simple method. In this case, we're going to use the 6 points of the octahedron, which is on this jig here. In a previous video, we showed how to prepare these jigs so that they're easier to use. In this case, the first thing you want to do is you want to get the logo of the ball lined up with the jig. And with these TaylorMades, it's not so hard. Some of the other brands, there can be some issues. In this case, we're going to use the top dot, and then we're going to put it between the top dot and one of these equatorial dots here. So we just notice that it fits nice and snug in there, and when we turn it over, we can see that it's going to fit the other half as well, like that. And sometimes you have to kind of nudge them a little bit. I find that, like, for instance, this logo is going to ride a little bit high on the bottom side, so I kind of nudge it down a little bit. Anyway, once you get it in there, then for just the marking part of it, I like to use a light one, the silver or the yellow. And all I want to do is make a tiny little dot. I don't want to decorate it. I just want to be able to see it later when I go in and freehand it. So I'll put a dot on the top, and then I'll do the 4 equators. And then I'll turn it over and put a dot on the bottom. There, and we're done. Now, this ball's not decorated per se, but we can see, if we wanted to, say, take a black pen and go in here and put a Z on each of those dots, if our name was Zed, for instance. Or we could do a square or a triangle. Now we can space these markings on the ball more easily. So that's one way to do it. Now I'm going to do a whole sleeve of balls here the way I do it. It usually takes me about 5 minutes to do a sleeve of balls, and I'm really happy with this technique and the results. And now I feel like I can't play golf unless my ball has these dots on it. So the pattern that I prefer, I like these octahedrons. You know, they're only 6 dots, and it's nice and clean and all that. But I prefer the 12 dots. It's the 12 points of an icosahedron or the 12 faces of a dodecahedron. All that's discussed in another video. So in this technique, first of all, let's go ahead and get this in the jig. Now, this jig, I'm going to use the dots that aren't red. So that makes a triangle, and I want to position that logo right in the middle of that triangle, and I turn it over and I look and I see that it'll probably be positioned there. Now, once again, I usually tend to hit a little bit low on that one. There. Now, it's positioned in there just the way I like it. So I'm going to go and color in the 12 dots here. And I'm going to do, it's a three-step process, and I'm going to do each step on all 3 balls and then start the next step. So in this one, I'm going to trace the circle. And I like to use silver because it looks cool, and it's also easy to cover over with another color. Silver, I think, is the perfect tracing color. Now, I'm going to do the top side. It's nice to have a nice firm hard surface to do this on. I'm going to do the 6 dots on the top, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the 6 dots on the bottom, and then we'll do the next ball and then go to the next step. So we go the first one, boom, 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 boom. Then turn it over, and we do the exact same thing again. So that now has 12 silver dots on it. There, now I have all 3 balls with 12 silver dots on them. We don't need the jig anymore for the next step. Now, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that every point has a complementary point, okay? And I'm going to use that to do an accent color on each one of these balls. So my base color is blue because it's the best color in the universe. So I'll just pick 3 colors as accent colors, and we'll just use these. Now, each one of these is a tailor-made 5, but if I put an accent green, purple, and red on there, then as I use these balls, I can keep track of which one I've used, or it just gives you that extra amount of fun on the golf course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a dot that's pretty much lined up with the logo, fill it in, and then I'll go in the exact opposite and fill that in. And I'm done with that accent color. Now we'll do one in green. So there's a dot right underneath the logo. Turn it over. Boom. Give it a nice liberal splash of color. And now we'll do one in red. Okay, now I'm ready to go back in and fill in all the remaining circles with my base color. And I like to just go in a rotational pattern, give each one a nice thick splash of blue, because that blue just pops. There, now we're done. We've got a whole sleeve of balls here. 12 dots per ball, that's 36 dots, 2 colors. Each dot, that's 72 colored dots. Wow. Now, your friends are going to be amazed that you did this, that you didn't store-buy these decorations. Like I say, these are just some, this is the basic way I do it. There's an infinite number of ways. I hope some of you will share videos. We can get them up on the website and show other people. And then also we'll do some videos with some more elaborate decoration. We'll get Sophie to do a couple.